Hey, today we got Andy Furchland here, and today we're going to discuss his business and some of the things that he brings to the table and what he has been experiencing and some of his adjustments with all of what is going on within the last month or so. Without further ado, Andy, would you please introduce yourself and
Sure.
tell us a little bit about your business and what you have going on.
Sure. Thanks. Appreciate the opportunity. Andy Furchland. I'm the founder of Allied Partners. So Allied is a owner's rep project management firm. So we work nationwide and Caribbean and looking at some more international expansion, hopefully soon. We work directly for the owners of hotels, resorts, sporting facilities, timeshare, breweries, private airline hangars, you name it. But when ownership wants to do a renovation or a new development, they need a quarterback to with good advanced construction experience to lead the charge on writing the RFPs and building the team for design, architecture, general contractors, specialty contractors, everybody it takes to take the project from an idea through completion, while we are mainly focusing our energies on quality control, budget control, and schedule control. All those lead to the bottom dollar for the owner. So we're about almost 6 years old now, the company. Started when I was in Portland, moved over here almost 5 years ago. And we were primarily hospitality when we started, and we've been diversifying since, which I am very grateful for right now. Didn't know what the downturn was going to be, but I worked through the mortgage crisis that we had, and the downturn around 9/11, and so I knew that we needed to diversify. So right now we've been impacted a bit. Current work is on hold, so those contracts are going to get extended out, it looks like. Projects that were planned for the future on hold, if not completely canceled, as people are still in, I think, a wait and see mode. But a lot of these developers spending their capital dollars now just to maintain their employees. So we're seeing it on just a mix, but still definitely with the hotel hospitality sector of our work being hit the worst. Luckily, our guys are spread out all over the United States, which is 3 of us based here in Bend. So the guys are used to working from home offices. So we were already pretty much set up and running there. We didn't have a learning curve. But with all of our construction basically on hold at almost every location, and the guys not having the ability to travel, that's really slowed us down. Because we're on the road, depending on the project manager and their projects, anywhere from 30 to 60% of the time.
Oh, wow.
So big impact there. So we're a big supporter of Alaska Airlines. So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
So how much of your business would you say is more in the hospitality space?
Well, when I started, it was 100. Right now, we're at probably 40. I'd say 30 to 40, depending. We have a large amount of senior housing work in the Midwest and the East Coast right now, and that by the way it's designed falls into hospitality, not so much for market sector. But and that work is actually thriving right now, with the exception of being able to travel to the projects. Probably about 40. Locally, we've worked on the conference center at the River House, the Old Redmond Hotel. Currently working on Tower Theater on all their back of house, 10 Barrel Breweries, main brew house renovation and kind of reconfiguration of equipment. And then we have a couple local healthcare projects that are hoping to start up here pretty soon. So sporting facilities, Portland Timbers, everything's on hold there. Golden State Warriors, new arena. We're overseeing all of the punch from the new construction, and then all the food and beverage
Oh,
and
wow.
retail there. And that is all on hold. California has every bit of construction on hold.
Uh-huh.
But luckily, again, those are branching out from hospitality. So.
Nice. As far as your projects go, how do you guys generally go about like generating new business? How do you do your prospecting?
Well, it's been completely word of mouth from my prior clients that I work directly with, lenders that I work directly with, architects, just general networking amongst ourselves. That might need to change going forward, as we kind of reevaluate how we market, who we want to market to, where we want to expand to, both geographically and by client. I think that it's a good time for us to relook at all of it. So.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you have some projects that are abroad as well, right? So, how did those come about? All just through word of mouth from.
Through word of mouth from people I work with in the industry. Yeah, done a lot of work in the Caribbean. We're getting ready to start a project this summer in Puerto Rico. And actually, before the downturn, our biggest area of expansion is in Hawaii. So.
Oh, wow.
Who would have thought that living in Oregon would be centrally located, but from Hawaii to the East Coast, it kind of is. So.
Yeah, what's funny is that, when I was playing football, a lot of my teammates that are Polynesian, right? And a lot come from, either Utah, right? Or
right.
islands. And so our coaches used to love to go out and recruit out there, right? Because obviously, like, who wouldn't? It's like going and recruiting down in SoCal, right? It's all
right.
And not the weather's always great. But I've also found that that they even commute a lot to the Oregon area, especially like Portland and like the hubs and stuff like that, because the opportunities are huge.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Portland, kind of interesting. Portland is where we started, and I started based in hospitality. Portland's hospitality market had already kind of leveled off. There's some projects that were already in the pipeline that are still being completed there, but that's definitely leveled off. I know we've seen a slew of new product here in all over Central Oregon, and I would expect that to level out. It was kind of leveling off anyway, so I don't think it's a COVID-related economic thing.
So, you mentioned that your main way of attracting new business has kind of shifted, right, or is in the process of needing a shifting. What steps have you guys been currently doing to kind of take action towards that?
Actually just started a project doing a deeper analysis of the projects, all of the projects that we've actually landed and completed, and tracking back exactly where the lead came from. And then, so just more kind of gathering data to give ourselves a better historic perspective as to where those are coming from, so we know where to focus that energy. We do want to keep diversifying. Typically we're more client-based than geographic-based. I don't set out to do work in Florida, but if my great client from San Francisco has a great project in Florida, then we go to Florida. So, so that dive will definitely help us. And I do know we want to start really expanding our footprint in Central Oregon now, because we can do the services that we provide, all over the U.S. and beyond, for a little bit less, because there's absolutely no travel involved, and we're really interested in supporting the Central Oregon community and working more with the Central Oregon developers. If they can benefit by getting the services, for a little bit less than typical, and we can give back to the community, then great. All the work that we've been doing at Tower Theater has been donated, so want to make sure that we're giving back, because we feel very fortunate to call this place home. So.
Yes, that's right. Well, and there is something to be said about that, right? To be able to live in a quarantine, if you will, somewhere where people, uh, yearn to vacation at, right?
Yep.
And like that's like with me and what I do, I'm primarily phone sales, right? And so talking to people, and telling them where I live, right? And they're like, oh, oh man, I've heard about this place, right? And we are kind of spoiled in that sense, right? Um,
hmm
like I look outside, like right now, like weather's a little iffy, but still, it breaks up for the most part. It's not a bad place to call home for sure.
Yeah.
So how do or what would your ideal client look like here locally?
Oh, locally? Well, like we've been working with 10 Barrel for almost a couple of years now, and that's great. Where it's a good local established company, but they've obviously got the support and ownership and support and financial backing now of Anheuser-Busch. So working with the Anheuser-Busch team has been great. I mean that's been a fantastic account. There's spectacular people that we're working with over there. Our project manager Brody is doing a great job. Frankly, there will be some clients that their projects are just too small, and it doesn't make sense to add our layer of overhead. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I can do it myself." It's like, yeah, they can probably, but at what cost of quality, uh, budget control, and schedules where we see the biggie. Because our guys are anticipating everything that we know is in the path ahead. So we can get that project open 6 months quicker than someone kind of just trying to do it themselves.
Mhm.
That's 6 months earlier revenue. So I mean, any ground up or renovations on hospitality are no-brainers for us on the hotel side. But we do large business projects as well. Probably be looking at projects that are in the range of at least $1 million, and then on up from there. We've done up to $200 million projects. So.
Well, awesome. Well, Andy, thank you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anybody that owns a business or is managing a business or something that is interested in your services, how can they get a hold of you?
Sure. Best way, just everything's on the website, from the type of work we do, my contact information, everything, just allied-partners.net, and just go from there. And certainly happy to discuss any project with anyone, and see if it's a right fit. So appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for your time, and good luck with your business transitioning and everything, and getting that going. And I'll be in touch.
Yep, sounds great. Thanks.
Go Ducks.
All right, go Ducks.